And this is going to sound crazy. Let me get rid of this music real fast. Ready? Bippity boppity boo! I guess my fairy godmother's a little slow this morning. So, boys and girls, I have something so exciting to share with you. We get to keep doing reading together. I know things have been so different in your lives lately, and just so you know, it's been very different in my life lately too. But there's one thing that hasn't changed. I have missed you so much, and I have missed teaching reading so much. And I'm so happy that in this weird way, I have been able to turn my house, yep, that's right, I'm in my house right now. So let me tell you a little secret. There might be weird things going on during this movie. My kids might come out, my dog might come out, the phone might ring, someone might knock on the door. So just be prepared if something weird happens. Just remember, I'm at home. So what I tried to do is turn my home into a little reading room for you to help you remember what we had in our old reading room, because you've been doing so good with your reading. And you may have noticed the first change, I don't have my pointer anymore. My pointer's at school. So I went into my kitchen and I found a Dr. Seuss stir. So we're gonna stir us up a little reading time together. So look behind, and here's the big yellow walls that were in our old classroom. So here's our chunk wall, and no, I'm speaking to my director. We don't need to zoom yet. So here's the chunk wall, and when we need to, we'll zoom on it so we can share some of these chunks. And here's our sight word wall. So kindergartners, here's all the sight words that we've been working on. And back here is our blend chart. So we have some blends that we've been working on. And then we have the good old toolbox rules up here. So these will be here to help you when you're reading at home all by yourself. Now remember, when we pick up a book to read, we can read any book, any word inside this book, because there's only 2 different kinds of words. Remember, you have to keep practicing your sight words, because half of this book is probably sight words. So if you keep practicing your sight words list at home, you're going to know half the books before you even pick them up. And then remember, we have figure them out words. So if you ever find a word that you don't know, you always have your toolbox. Remember that toolbox I gave you? It's a good thing I gave it to you, because I told you were going to take it with you everywhere. Remember how we talked about you take it to the grocery store, you take it to the movie theater, you can take it driving down the street. Wherever you go, you can be using your toolbox. And now you're going to be using your toolbox at home to be doing reading time at home with me. So I'm really happy you got that. So why don't you reach under your table and pull out your toolbox right now and see if you're going to remember what's inside your toolbox that we've given to them. What I've already given to you to put in your toolbox. So I'm going to get my toolbox out. Oh, did you hear that, boys and girls? I think something weird is happening at my house, because usually when we reach down to get our toolbox, I don't hear anything. Did you hear that? Look what I have. Look what just showed up. Oh, there's one of those things I told you might happen. So, oh, let me show you the front. Dun, dun, dun. I've always wanted to do this, boys and girls. And now I have a real toolbox. Let's see what we have inside our toolbox. Oh, I forgot to show you something. Look what we have in our reading room at home. The reading bug. So be on the lookout for the reading bug to be coming to your house, because I know it's going to get you, and you're going to keep becoming a better and better reader. So let's see what we have in our toolbox. See what you remember. The first thing that you should do when you see a word you don't know is put on your I Spy Eyes, because there's probably something inside that word that you do know about. So never, ever forget to put on your I Spy Eyes. I know you're laughing at me, but you better not be laughing at me. So after we put on our I Spy Eyes and we look inside a word, these are some of the things that we might find. You might find AR. So do you remember what AR says? It's the pirate one. So if it's the pirate one, it says R. So if you find AR inside a word you don't know, you say R. And if you find ER inside a word you don't know, you say And if you look over here on our toolbox, Director, do you think you can see these letters okay? You don't have to zoom yet, Director. We'll zoom later. But over here on our toolbox, we have AR and we have ER. So let's see what else we have in our toolbox. We have these two. Do you remember what these two say? These are the ones that you got to trick your parents on. So hopefully you're still playing that trick, boys and girls. So we have OU and we have OW, and they both have the same sound. They both say ow. So remember, you could be walking through your house, or you could be having dinner time, or you could be playing games. And if you accidentally bump your knee, you're not going to say the old thing that you used to say. Now you're going to go, OW. And your parents are going to go, what in the world are you saying? And you're going to say, OW. It says, ow. Or you could be walking around and you could be bumping your arm. And instead of saying the old thing that we used to say, you can say, OU. And your parents are going to go, what in the world did you just say? And you're going to say, OU, because OU says, ow. So don't forget our little old trick that we used to have. And you might see EE in a word. And what does EE say? It says E. So we have AR, we have ER, we have OU, we have OW, we have EE. And let's see what else we have in here. Let's see what I can find. Remember this one? Kindergartners, we worked really hard on this one before we had our little change of plans with school. So ING says ing. And like Mrs. Magical always says, and all of her kids always says, it says ing like king, doesn't it? So if you ever see a word that you don't know and it has ing in it, then remember, you put your finger on that and it says ing. And we have good old Y at the end. And the reason we have to learn Y at the end is because Y at the end doesn't say ya, it says E, doesn't it? So this is one of the first words that we learned that has Y at the end. This is hungry. So over here on our toolbox wall, we have the word hungry to help us remember. And some of you started learning about the vowels. Remember, kindergartners, those green letters that I had up high on the wall behind me? So let's say the vowels real fast. A, E, I, O, and U. And A, E, I, O, and U, those are all vowels. So when we have two vowels together in a word, remember, we can have a problem because they both want to talk, don't they? But if everyone talks at once, then we always have a problem. It's just mumble jumble, isn't it? So we give these words a special rule so that we don't have blah, 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 mumble jumble. And only one of the vowels gets to talk. They both get to walk, but only the first one gets to talk. So do you remember that rule that we have? When two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. So in this word, who's first? The E is first. And he says his name, he says E. So if we were to sing this word, it would say read. So always remember, if there's two vowels together, they both don't get to talk, only one of them gets to talk. And another thing that you might see with your I Spy Eyes, let's see, let's put these on our ladybug, since our ladybug's gonna give our reading book. I shouldn't say ladybug, it's a reading book, huh? Let's see if those will stay on our reading book, okay. So always remember to use your I Spy Eyes. All right, where were we? So here's another thing that's in our toolbox. We have good old magic E, don't we? And the magic E can bonk any vowel on the head. Remember? A, E, I, O, and U. In this word, it bonks the O on the head. So the O says his name, and it says O. The H says huh, the M says and then what does the E say, boys and girls? That's right, he doesn't get to talk because he's on a timeout, because he bonked the O on the head. You're not supposed to bonk, are you? That's mean. So he's on a timeout and he doesn't get to talk. So if we were to sing this word, we would say home. So don't forget about that magic E, boys and girls. And first graders, we have been working on this tool that's in a lot of our stories. So I put that on our toolbox too. IGHT says ite. That's another tool that we can remember. So if it's not a sight word and it's a figure it out word, remember, you always have to remember to put your I Spy Eyes on and look for something you know, because somewhere inside that word, there's probably something you know. It could be a chunk, it could be a blend, It can be a tool, and sometimes it can even be a sight word, which is why we need to memorize our sight words. And after we figured out all the things that we know about that word, the last thing we need to do is, that's right, sing it. So don't chop up the sounds, because if you chop up the sounds, your brain won't know what the word is. So make sure you put your finger on the page, because that's your car, and drive your car across the reading road and sing that word and keep singing it until your brain goes, oh yeah, I know what that word is. And then you say it fast. So that's just a little introduction of some of the silly words that I say during reading time to help you remember the silly things that we talk about in reading class, and maybe to help your parents understand what in the world we're talking about when we say all these silly words. Because, boys and girls, we've had this wonderful opportunity for me to continue to make reading videos for you so you can do reading time at home. So I can't wait to share them with you and see what unexpected things may possibly happen during our videos, and so we can have fun and laugh just like we do at school together. I miss your sweet, sweet faces, and I miss your sweet, sweet smiles. And the best part of teaching reading is watching how amazing you are and how much you learn. So I can't wait until we can get back together someday and you can read your favorite story to me. So keep practicing your reading and keep thinking about what favorite book you're going to bring to read to me, because I can't wait to see how you use your I Spies. And don't forget, always use your toolbox. Love you, boys and girls. Look for me in future videos to come for kindergartners and first graders. And I miss you so, so, so much. Love you. Bye-bye for now.